The following podcast is a Karla J media production.
All things pop culture and celebrity cheese, man.
Hey Karla, what's the cheese, man? Suelta la sopa.
You're listening to The Cheez with Karla J.
What's up,
Hola, borrachos y borrachas. Welcome to The Cheez with Karla J. I am Karla J. Guys, this is my first solo episode since I started The Cheez a few months ago. So please bear with me. I am a little nervous, but a lot excited. So what's going on? Normally The Cheez, we have a guest here, but my guest sadly canceled. She couldn't make it. She was a trainer. She had to be up at 3 a.m. So her schedule just didn't work out. So sadly, I don't have a guest, but I am here and the show must go on, right? So before we get started, I do want to say that I'm a little late. I'm 10 minutes late. But like I said, we are trying to get in the groove of things. Okay, guys? So you all know, normally I always ask my guests to tell us a little bit about themselves. So I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who don't know who I am. I am Karla J. People know me as Lipstick and Vodka sometimes. I created a website called lipstickandvodka.com. It is a blog. We talk about cocktails, drinking, dressing, beauty, all of that good stuff. And then I slowly started making videos. Now I actually have a business called Karla J Media where I do social media management, graphic design, all of that good stuff. So that's what I do. If you guys didn't know, now you know. I don't think I've ever formally introduced myself. I just assume everyone watches me and knows what's going on in my life, but that's not the case. So that's a little bit what I do. So if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to comment down below. Again, this episode for the podcast listeners is going to be a little different because I am asking everyone who is watching live to engage a little bit more with me this time. So if you are watching live, feel free to comment. I will try and answer as best as I can. Okay. So we're going to move on to the cocktail of the day. You guys already know I always have a cocktail. If me not having a guest is not gonna stop me from getting a little wine. So I do have wine here. I garnished it with a cute little chunky strawberry, guys. So what we're drinking is a Cape Root wine. If you guys didn't check out my Instagram, I made an Instagram TV video talking about how you can get wine sent straight to your door and you guys get $22 off plus free shipping. So I talked about that. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave a link after the show. But that's one of the wines that that I talked about. I actually hadn't tried it. So this is the first time. It's a little bit tart. It's tartier than I would like. I like sweet wines, so it's all right. Don't think I would be getting it again. All right. Guys, I am sweating. I think it's because I'm nervous, because I'm in front of all of these lights. I don't know. Okay, so give me a second while we share everything. But if you guys are watching, please share. Please let everyone know what's going on today so they can see all of the cheese that we got going on. Also, if you guys can't tell, I did dye my hair and I don't have roots anymore. And I am feeling a little self-conscious because I always end up having some root, especially because my brows are super, super dark and I get really self-conscious, but we're doing well. Hi, Christina. Hello, Seams. Hello, everyone. I see you guys. Thank you for watching. I would appreciate if you share. Again, I'm so nervous. I'm going to keep saying this throughout the thing, okay? Just bear with me, okay? So today, we're going to discuss La Buena y La Mala of the week, okay? So the good and the bad of the week, for those of you who don't know, that's what La Buena y La Mala stands for. The good of this week is actually that I am here. I am doing this even though I don't have a guest. I've actually talked to some of my friends and I told them I don't know what I'm going to do if one of my guests isn't here because I am so shy. Not shy. Whoa. Let's take that back. I am not shy. I just get really nervous on doing things alone because it's something that I always say, this podcast, my job, all of this is my baby. And what if people say it sucks and all that stuff? You wouldn't want people to tell you your baby's ugly. So I get real nervous. But I decided that I can't let those of you who do want to know a little bit of celebrity cheeseman, I don't want you guys to be like, where is the celebrity cheeseman for this week? And I had already told y'all we were doing a solo episode, and we are doing it. So that's what we're doing. That is the good of the week, that I got my ass in here and did this. The bad of the week, oh my God. Like I said, I did my hair and I love it. That's not the bad part. The bad part is that I didn't realize that going full blonde, getting rid of your roots, was going to burn. Like, oh my God. Like, no one just talks about this. It burned so much, guys. Like, okay, let me walk you through the process of what my hair, like what it takes. Mind you guys, I was there from 10 a.m. and I didn't leave until around 4. But I had to do like a root touch up because I had 6 inches of root. And then I had to kind of bring that in, and then I had to make sure that it got on, like, onto my scalp. So like the color on my scalp burns so much, like you can feel like the hot, like chemical, like it's not hot chemicals, but like it gets hot because your skin and your hair is reacting to it. Guys, my eyes were like watering, and I was like, I can't do this. So I don't know if I'm going to go fully blonde ever again. If you guys have a problem with my root, it's going to keep going because I can't handle that pressure. It hurts so much. Thank you, Poncho. Poncho said, you go, girl. You the best. Thank you. I try. He was one of the people that I texted, and I was like, what do I do? Should I even do this? And I'm really glad that you guys are watching and sticking around. So thank you. Okay, so that is the good and the bad of the week. All right, guys. So I want to hear your good and the bad of the week. So put it in the comments. Let me know what was awesome for you, what was bad for you. Let's just kind of get the conversation going. But while you guys do that, I am going to jump into the first story. So if you have something to say, feel free to comment, and I'm going to read them as we go. All right. So the first story is Vanessa Hudgens. If you guys don't know, High School Musical. Okay. She was Gabriella, you know. Okay. So Vanessa Hudgens recently broke up with her boyfriend, Austin Butler, of 9 years. And now she's been spotted with a Laker. His name is Kyle Kuzma. He's a forward. Don't really know about basketball, but I felt like you guys need to know that information. So Kyle Kuzma and Vanessa Hudgens were spotted, and I'm a little like excited for her because everyone's like, oh my God, it's too soon, and whatever it may be to like society's eyes. But I just kind of think, you know, if you broke up with someone, that relationship was probably dying before it ever ended. So you going off to date someone else is probably like, it's been enough for you, because it's probably been like 6 months to a year that you've been trying to break up with this person, and it's not too soon for you. So I think it's good for Vanessa Hudgens. Like I said, I don't know why they broke up. I don't think they've ever talked about their breakup, but I think if you're breaking up with someone, it's a long time coming. Her going out with someone so soon, and they're not even like out and about telling everybody that they're dating. They were just spotted. Okay. So allegedly they might be dating. I think it's good for her. Like, I get it. It's a little too soon to jump into a new relationship in most people's eyes, but I think, why not? Like I said, most relationships are probably dying by this point. Just let the girl have fun. Maybe she's going to be dating around. Let her be. She's been in a relationship for 9 years. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being with someone for 9 years? I mean, I don't know, guys. I've already said this a few times. I have commitment issues. I don't commit anything. I don't commit to anything, especially not some men. So her being with him for 9 years, I said 9 months, didn't I? Being together for 9 years and then jumping into this dating scene. Let her live, let her have fun. She's doing the best she can. All right, so that is the story on Vanessa Hudgens. She was spotted. I'm going to keep you guys updated, so follow us on the Cheez on Instagram and Facebook. I'll put some more information if I get any. All right. Next one. This is about Nikki Tutorials. We talked about her last week with Demetra. If you guys didn't watch that episode, make sure you guys check it out. It's on YouTube. It's on Spotify and iTunes playlist, and then as well as our Facebook. So if you guys want to check that out, it was a good show. But Nikki Tutorials came out as a transgender woman, and in her video, she titled it, "I'm Coming Out." she talked about how she was kind of pressured into coming out and it wasn't on her terms. And me and Demetra kind of went back and forth of like how, not back and forth like in a bad way, but we just were talking and discussing about how someone could do that to somebody else. Like, it's her truth. She should come out whenever she decides to. But they pressured her into it. And this was what she said on Ellen. She came out on Ellen today. And it says, he had a very pressuring tone of voice. And he was like, if we don't get any answer by tomorrow, it will be out. I feel like his entire goal was this, to destroy my life. But plot twist, that didn't happen. And I know she went on to say that in 2020, thank God that we are so accepting, because who knows how this would have been taken years ago. So that was like, I think that was like her first interview, and I think Ellen was a great place to start. I don't know if she's going to continue doing interviews or if this is going to be her very last one, but I just feel like Nikki Tutorials was brave enough to come out, and then she came out to do this interview with Ellen and to kind of give you guys a little bit more insight. I saw the I'm Out video, and I don't think she talked too much in detail about what's it called, the way she got pushed into this. Lauren said, I saw a card reader on YouTube talking about who it was, and it was intense. Ooh, we got to see that. I'm going to follow it. Lauren, I'm going to text you right after this. So she said she saw a card reader on YouTube talking about who it was, and it was intense. So I guess like a psychic kind of card reader? I'm confused on that part. But, I don't know. I just feel like that's fucked up. Like, hey, we're going to cuss on here. But it's messed up for someone to even push someone to go out and out themselves, right? I feel like, I don't think it was a big deal. Nikki Tutorials has created this empire on her beauty and her skills and all of that. And her being trans wasn't an issue when it came out. So, yeah, a psychic. Okay, yeah, so a psychic, like a card reader. Like he said, it was probably more than one person and people that were close to her. Ooh, I didn't even think of that. So maybe Nikki Tutorials was... they were like people close to her. I think that if that is true, I wonder if she's even gonna go and press, like, maybe not press charges because this is blackmailing, but like, can they press charges, or are they going to like, is she going to like try and pursue and find out who it was? Like, I don't know if she's talked about this. I'm gonna keep looking into it, and if you guys do have questions, you guys can put them in the comments, and I will try and find some answers for you. But I feel like if it was someone who is close to her, I want to know, like, first off, like, why do you, why would they do that if they are close to her? How did this come about? Why? I don't know. Maybe money? All of that? I don't know. Let me take a sip real quick. I'm like, this is too much. Again, guys, this is the Cape Root wine that I got from wink.com. I don't know if I like it. No. I know I don't like it. It's not sweet enough for me. So, wow, I'm like looking at myself on this and I'm just like very blonde. So please bear with me, guys. I'm going to see how I look when these roots come out, and fingers crossed, I'm going to like it a little bit better. It's just so different for me. Okay. So guys, this was like this week. I couldn't find any news stories. I feel like I say that every week, but it's just like, I want them to be like attention grabbing, but you know, so we're going to jump into our TV and movies. Guys, I have been really packing in some Netflix shows. Like, after I posted on my Facebook, like, if you guys can send me some like recommendations, I got a lot. I wrote it in my bullet journal, and now I've been watching a lot of things. But I wanted to talk about two that are coming up and one that I already watched. So, Sex Education. I talked about this on the Cheez podcast Instagram. Sex Education is an amazing show, guys. It is about these like high schoolers who are like, they're just in high school, right? But there's this kid whose mom is a sex therapist. So he learns a lot about sex, and then this random girl like kind of like pushes him into being a like quote unquote sex therapist for these high schoolers, and they pay him and all of this stuff. And so it's really awkward and cringy, but it's funny because it's like, who would do that? And then two, like, you're probably like 17, 18. Like, shouldn't you already kind of know these things? But I thought it was just like, if you guys haven't watched it, I encourage you to watch it. Sex Education is hilarious. It isn't from the United States. I believe it's from like England and all of that. They have an accent, if that's what you're into. But Sex Education is so funny. Do not watch it. And this is for Lauren. Do not watch it with like kids who are like under 10, because it's a lot of like sex and like questions about things. So like, if that's not the type of information you're like ready to talk to your kids about, don't do it. So just like a quick thing. Okay, so the next one is Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, season 3. Yes, I think it's season 3. Comes out January 24th, so in 2 days. And I think it was one of my guests, and her and I were talking about how she will not watch this show because it is so like demonic. It is so scary. Like, she's not going to bring that into her life and into her house. And it is super terrifying. It is like a complete, like, different storylines, different thing from like Sabrina the Teenage Witch, because like the Sabrina the Teenage Witch is very like girly and like fun and airy and all of that. And then Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is literally like, she is talking to Satan. She is trying to fight Satan, demons, and all of this crazy shit. So like sacrifices, but it is so good. It came out during Halloween and I haven't stopped watching it since, but it is amazing. It is, I mean, I'm a big Halloween fan. I love scary movies sometimes, and I can watch scary movies alone, but this one's really fun and really like, I don't think it's super scary. So if you guys are into something like that, I recommend watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Like I said, season 3 comes out. So if you guys haven't even watched it, now is the time to catch up on it. Girl, I'm not coming over to dude, oh my God, I know. Like, it's just, I mean, I do believe in like demons and all of that, guys. Don't get me wrong. It gets me really like, I get really scared. I've always like, that's why I do not play with the Ouija board. I'm scared to play with the Ouija board because then I feel like it just opens up all of these like doors for people, like not people, for like demons to attack me, and I'm not here for it. But I really do think that the Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is scary, but not so scary where you can't watch it. So if you guys aren't like too scaredy cats like my friend, make sure you check it out. I know you guys will like it. And then the last show that I want to talk about is The Bold Type. A lot of these shows are things that I've already like mentioned before, and it's because they are so good and I cannot like recommend them enough. But The Bold Type is a show about 3 women living in New York City, and they are what's the word? They work for a magazine. It's kind of based off on Cosmopolitan magazine, and that was like my dream, guys. For those of you who don't know, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I used to want to work for Cosmopolitan magazine, and that's actually how I started Lipstick and Vodka. I started so I can kind of create content for them and then like present my blog, and that would be like my portfolio. Ended up not even coming close to that. I just decided that I wanted to do Lipstick and Vodka, and that was it. But so The Bold Type, it was just kind of natural for me to gravitate towards this show because it is about Cosmopolitan, and I wanted to know the ins and outs of it. So it's 3 women, and it's just them navigating like dating life, marrying people, dating people like in the magazine, but who are like higher up, so like the CEOs and all of that, coming out and trying to understand being gay in New York City. And it is really, really cool because it is super inspiring for me, because I see this and I'm like, oh my God, like could be me. I could be walking around in New York City and like, but then but it's funny because they add their actual life in it, and so you get to see like the awkward like sex scenes or like the awkward situations they put themselves in, or like when they fight with their it's just like interesting. So that's kind of like, you're not into the scary stuff and you're not really into like the sex education stuff. The Bold Type is actually a really good show to watch, especially for like those like girl bosses out there. You guys are gonna love it. I can't recommend that show enough. Big fan of it. And then another show that I'm currently watching is No, it's AJ and the Queen. I'm not watching it anymore. I finished it. So AJ and the Queen came out on Netflix, like a few weeks ago. I binge watched it, finished it. I would probably give it like a 7.5 out of 10. If you guys have watched it, let me know what you give this show. I give it a 7.5 out of 10 just because I don't think the actors are great. Like, I love RuPaul. I don't have anything to say about him. And he was a great actor, I think. I think that he was one of the best ones. But a lot of the acting kind of sucked. I didn't like who they chose as AJ. I know that's really fucked up because she's like that little girl's probably like 10. But like, I just didn't like her acting skills and how she was. I also thought Lewis, he's a blind character. His jokes were just too like on the nose, if that makes sense. Like, they were just too predictable. And I think they could have done so much more with his character. But overall, like, the story and the show is funny. I just wish they had better actors. That's it. But I think you guys would like it. It's basically, I don't even want to say what it's about because even saying something, you basically get the whole show. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys watch it, let me know. If you have watched it, tell me what you think. Don't be shy, guys. I know I haven't asked y'all to interact with me on lives lately, but have fun today. Okay, so I went on Instagram and asked you guys to ask me questions. We're gonna do a cute little Q&A since we usually ask our guests, but today is all about me. So I have a few questions that were submitted. So I'm gonna read them to you and I'm gonna answer them for you. So I'm not even gonna say who they're from. We're all gonna do this anonymous, guys. So it says, "What are your goals?" My goals in life, I think I do want to continue building my business. It's something that I have always wanted. When I was in high school, I remember being like, I want to be, back then, I didn't even know that there was like things such as like marketing and PR and all of that good stuff. But I remember being like, I want to be one of the first ones to do something like this. And, that was my goal. I remember when I went to college, I ended up realizing like people are doing it around me, but it never took away the want. I always wanted to have a business. I always wanted to create and present and still be creative in my own way. I don't know if I've ever said that, but I was going to be a journalist major, and then they told me that there was like strict rules on writing, and I was like, I don't want people to tell me how I can write. And so like I felt like it took away from my creativity. So what I ended up doing was switching over to PR because it was like a big scope of everything. And like I said, I have commitment issues, so I couldn't choose like advertising or PR. or marketing. So I chose PR so I could kind of get like a little broad sense of thing. Girl boss. Girl boss what? Sorry, Poncho said girl boss. Like what though? Okay, so those are my goals. That's one of my goals. Another thing is I would love for the Cheez to continue and like flourish. I would love to have more guests on here. And if you guys have any like people that you think would be amazing on here, don't be scared to like let me know, comment. I'm constantly looking for guests. I love reaching out to new people. And I said this last week, I love hearing stories and I want to know other people's stories. And like that's how you learn. So I love interviewing people. So if you guys have anyone that you would love to have, let me know. But yeah, I would really want the Cheez to kind of flourish. Like I said, I'm in the works of building a space. I've said this before. This is the corner of my living room. But I'm currently trying to build a room in a location that I have to just have a studio for the Cheez. And that's like my big dream as of right now. And I'm hoping that comes together very, very soon. Question number 2. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Dang. Okay. In 5 years, I'm going to be 30. Oh God. In 5 years, I will be 30. I hope that in 5 years, I am still with Karla J Media. It is turned into exactly what I have continued to want because my goals change every year, I think, because after I've completed something or after I've met a goal, I change up my next goal. I decide what's coming up next. So I'm always constantly renewing my goals depending on how far along I am in my long-term dream, right? So I hope in 5 years, Karla J Media is exactly what I want it to be, where I have a group of people working with me, like amazing people. I am better at my product photography. I think my product photography is great, I think, but I would love that to be a lot better. I would love to learn how to do videos and so do videography, all of those amazing things. That's kind of my goal, just to grow and not gonna lie, be married. I hope by 30, I'm not like single Pringle over here. So that is one of my other goals for 5 years. Where do you see the Cheez in 5 years? Oh my God. Okay, so the Cheez. Wow, I actually haven't thought about the Cheez 5 years from now, because I've said it and I've said it like over and over again, because I think the Cheez is an amazing hobby for me, because I love it. It's fun for me. It's more fun than work. So I don't see it as a job. And so I just kind of go with the flow with the Cheez. This setup was kind of where I wanted to start with the Cheez, but I didn't have like the money for it. I didn't have like all of the equipment for it. So I started how I could, because I love recording and I love telling stories and interviewing people for their stories. So I don't really have a big vision for the Cheez. I hope that I can continue doing this, maybe be able to like seat more people on my show, be able to have maybe 2, 3, 4 guests at one time instead of just having one guest. I think that as of right now is my big term goal for the Cheez. So, the next question is, what happened to Wasted Wednesdays? So for those of you who are new or are watching for the first time or don't know what Wasted Wednesday is, Wasted Wednesday was a Facebook live show just like the Cheez that we're doing today. But it was a Facebook live show where I would teach you how to make cocktails, because it was Lipstick and Vodka creating them for you. We were creating cocktails and we would play a bunch of games. I would drink a lot and we would kind of get like a little wasted, right? So it's Wasted Wednesday. The reason I ended that it was just kind of, I took a step back, realized my professional life, I needed to be a little bit more committed to it. And I couldn't do that hungover on a Thursday, right? So that was one. I realized I was drinking too much. My health was probably going to go to shit if I continued. So for that reason, I kind of had to end Wasted Wednesday. It was a little bit more of a personal reason rather than like anything else. As much as I love Wasted Wednesday, and that's kind of what gave me this platform and able to talk to all of you and introduce me to a lot of you guys, Wasted Wednesday just kind of had to go for my own personal reasons. So that's why. But I brought the Cheez, and I think the Cheez is amazing. And again, we still get a few drinks in, but it's not too crazy. But you guys get some entertainment out of this. So that's what happened to Wasted Wednesdays. Wasted Wednesdays is still a thing. I still drink on Wednesdays. Doesn't mean you can't either. Doesn't mean you can't, but it's also filled with the Cheez. So the next question says, do you think you would be where you are right now 5 years ago? Oh, wow. 5 years ago, I was 20. I was 20 years old. No. Oh my God. 5 years ago actually was right before I started Lipstick and Vodka. I started Lipstick and Vodka December 2014. And back then when I started Lipstick and Vodka, there was no blogs. Podcasts were probably like very like few. Nobody really ever talked about them. Facebook Live wasn't a thing. Like all of this new technology, all of this new social media was non-existent. So I never thought that this is where I would be. And I think 20-year-old Karla would have never been able to be where I am now if I didn't go through the things that I did go through these past 5 years. So could I have done what I'm doing now 5 years ago? Definitely not. I had to learn a lot about myself, about business, about other people. I've learned a lot even in this 1 year. So definitely cannot do what I'm doing now 5 years ago. Next question. What's the best piece of advice you've received? the best piece of advice I've received is actually, I've received a lot of advice, but one that I constantly keep in the back of my mind, Lauren actually told me, like I said, I have a bunch of advice. It just depends on what aspect I'm in. But when it comes to my job, there was a time where when I was working at Brujeria downtown, and I would always tell her, I'm so nervous. I don't want to talk to people. Like, they're going to think I'm dumb. They're going to think I'm stupid. Like, they're going to think I'm weird, like coming up to them. And one of the things she said was like, they're not going to think that because they know that you work there, or they're going to assume you work there. You walk in there with confidence and you do your job, and that's all it is. They're not going to think anything because they know that you're there for your job, and it's just your job. And ever since then, I realized that as nervous as I get, as weird as I feel, I have to do the things that I want to do, or the things that I've been hired to do, because that is my job. And so I can't be shy anymore. And if I am, gotta like fake it till you make it, like fake being confident until you are confident in it. And I've slowly kind of gathered that. If you guys haven't noticed, before, like Wasted Wednesday, I was always alone, but I always had alcohol as a crutch because I would get like drinks, and then I would like loosen up, and then it was like out the door. And so there's been times where I think it was like during the holidays, I was supposed to do an episode with my sisters. They couldn't make it, and I just like didn't do the show. I was like, I'm not doing this, because I was embarrassed to talk by myself in front of a screen. And even though I've done it all the time, I just didn't have that crutch anymore. So that's kind of where this advice came from. Just do what you're there to do, and don't think about what other people are thinking, or what you think they're thinking, because they probably are thinking that. So that was one of the best advice, because I do walk into everything thinking, okay, I'm here for this, and everyone else can just like fuck it. So that's probably like one of the best advice, and I always walk in thinking that. So that's one of the best things. What's the next? The next question is there any major projects you're working on right now? Major projects. I don't really talk a lot about Karla J Media, because that's like more of my professional side, and the Cheez with Karla J is more like my hobby, something that I love. But thankfully I do have a great amount of clients that I can handle, and I'm doing great with Karla J. But like I mentioned, I am currently working with my dad, and he's constructing a room for me so the Cheez can have its own little like office space. And I think that's the biggest project that I'm working on. I'm still constantly trying to create content for you guys, and those are just small projects, but creating a big room for you guys, I think that is the biggest one that I have so far. So for you guys aren't even gonna come. Oh my God, that is like one of my dreams. I've been talking to some of my friends. I would love to have a room for the Cheez, record it, do all of that good stuff, and then what's the word? Like have a viewing party. Like I would love to be able to have people like outside of the room watching it on a screen, or like watching through a window, the Cheez with Karla J. And that is like big goal. That is the Cheez. Oh, in 5 years, that's my 5-year Cheez goal. But I think that would be so cool. What else? What's the next? Like I said, guys, if you guys do have questions, you guys want me to answer them, you have anything you want me to answer for you, put it in the comments. Don't be afraid. We're in a safe space. Next question. What's your go-to makeup foundation? Oh, this is a good one. I actually just changed my makeup foundation. I don't have a go-to makeup foundation at the moment, because I just switched to this one. This is the LA Girl Pro Matte Foundation. If you guys don't know, my sister Marie, or my sister Trini, has a makeup studio where she sells makeup. It's here in Westaco. She has different types of brands and all of that stuff. So I'm always grabbing different makeup products, and I always grab different foundations as soon as I'm done with one. So right now I have the LA Girl Pro Matte. I know she just got the Beauty Creations foundation. I don't know if it has a specific name. So right now I'm loving the LA Girl Pro Matte foundation, but there's another one called BB Dation, which is like a BB cream and foundation like mixed together. I liked that one, but I'm loving this one more. Tell me what you guys think. Have you guys seen a change in the past 2 weeks with my makeup? Let me know which one looks better. So What else? Let's see. Last question. Is this our last question? This is a question that I didn't really want to answer because I talked about Aaron Hernandez. When was this? Last week? I talked about because his documentary came out, or like a docuseries, because it was 3 parts. But it came out and they were talking about Aaron Hernandez. And in the docuseries, if you guys haven't watched it, but you guys probably have to know this because it's been out and about forever. It wasn't just this documentary that outed him. But they basically said that the reason that he killed himself was because they were commenting or bringing out, or there were rumors that he was gay. And so that is one of like the big like plot twist in the whole Aaron Hernandez case. But it says, the question says, do you think the accusations on Aaron Hernandez are true? And then it's in parentheses, it says like boy lovers, or like having love, like being with men. Honestly, I don't like know. I don't know how I feel, because I've actually read I've read articles, I've read podcasts. I've heard podcasts on this, and they always come back to what's the word? They always come back to the fact that he was gay. But what my sister was just saying before we came on is that they were like, if you were close to someone, if you were friends with someone and that person was gay and they hadn't been out, why would you go out and out them after the fact? Like, why would you do that to someone you love and care for? Especially like if you say you're like brothers, your best friends, all of that. Why would you go out and then do this after he's already passed away? Like, knowing that he didn't even, like, if he did kill himself because of this, why do you think it's okay to do it now that he's dead? And I that brought up like a good a good point, and that kind of made me see, because I don't really have an opinion on this, because I just feel like I've said this before, like he's already dead. Like, let's just kind of try and move on. Let's stop talking about the dead and let them rest, you know. But I do see her point, and that's true. And I think I even saw on Twitter where one of the men that used to play football with Aaron came out and said that man who was saying that he was his lover wasn't even the quarterback, and that was like what he was claiming the whole time. So if he wasn't the quarterback and he wasn't as close as he said he was to Aaron, how can we read or like take these things as truth? So that was something that kind of stuck with me, because it's like, maybe that guy wasn't the quarterback. Does that mean that everything that he said is a lie? So tell me what you guys think. Do you think him lying about his position in football discredits him as someone who comes out as Aaron Hernandez's like relationship, or like, because he said that they were on and off for years, and he said it before in like a podcast. Like I said, he's been interviewed before, and this isn't the first time he said it. So that's just something that I kind of took away from that. I don't have an exact opinion on it, because I can't really say this is true, this is false. But that was a really good point that she brought up, that why would you do that to someone you love, as a brother, as a lover, whatever it may be. But yeah. So if you guys have more questions, feel free to follow me, the Cheez Pod, and the Cheez Pod, Lipstick and Vodka, all of that. You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all of that good stuff. But don't forget to share this episode. This is my first solo episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if there's anything else you guys would like to talk to me about, or want to see more Celebrity Cheeseman on, let me know. And I will talk to you guys next week, every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Bye.